Yes, man. Hey, what is going on, Gerald Peters? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for a Bitcoin check in the money flow way. So, we're going to get into this Bitcoin chart and let's see what we're looking at here.
All right, folks, don't look now, but Bitcoin is on fire. And this time it's with far less fanfare, right? Now, part of the reason I think maybe the boom bust cycle, the history of crypto, of this cryptocurrency. But take a look at this. At the top of that screen, since 2011, the orange is Bitcoin. It has been the best performing asset 10 times. And on the bottom of the chart, it's been the worst performer 3 times. All in all, though, I think it's got a hell of a track record. Now, folks are really piling in.
What my man there, Charles, is saying, that's a guy from Fox News, Charles Payne. Look at this Bitcoin. This is 10-year Bitcoin chart. All right, 10 years. Look at this. Over for the last 10 years, we have gone from $300 and something to today, $51,587. 10 years, man. 10 years. 10 fucking years. That is a decade up. And yet people lose money. How is that possible when something has gone up for 10 years? And I'll tell you why. It's because people perceive volatility as risk. Let's take this down to a weekly chart. This is 10 years on a weekly chart. Same thing. You can see it. Let's get this back to where we were. Fill the chart. Update this. Here's a weekly chart going back for the last 3 years, that I've been yelling Bitcoin, 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 wearing a motherfucking hat. And I've been trying to tell everyone, we run in Discord now for almost 5 years. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And we've had several crashes and several booms. And, the way to make Bitcoin work, and we're going to get into Bitcoin chart, what we're seeing today. And then we're going to get into what coins that maybe I'm picking up today. Talk a little bit about the money flow way of how to build out your crypto portfolio. But let's listen to this.
Those Bitcoin spot ETFs, they started really strong. They kind of fell apart for a moment. Now they're picking up big time momentum. This again, after stumbling out the gate. And I suspect that this bandwagon is going to really start to fill up quickly as Bitcoin breaks through some pivotal resistance. You're going to get a whole lot of folks who don't know anything about cryptocurrency but want a piece of the action. Someone who knows everything about it, MicroStrategy's Executive Chairman, Michael Saylor. Michael, I listened to a podcast that you're on recently. I know you do a lot of them, and which I think is great because you're reaching out to people, real folks out there. But there's something you said in this that really stuck out to me, and I want you to listen to it, but I want the audience to hear it as well. Let's play it.
Come on, Michael.
Robert asked me on his show, what is money? I had never questioned what is money. And then we explored it together for many, many hours. And when I finished that exploration, my conclusion was money is economic energy.
Economic energy, what does that mean?
Listen.
It is the question of our time, Charles. And it's
economic energy, man. Let's talk about that. That's what gold is. There's how much gold is there in the world? I don't know. The reason gold is valuable is it's scarce. It can't be replicated. You can't make fake gold. Okay, you can't print more gold. Well, not the original commodity. But they find ways, and now that Bitcoin is now an official asset class of the United States, approved by the SEC, and it's now an ETF, publicly traded, man, the game is over. The idea whether Bitcoin is real or not real, that shit's done. It's now an asset class like bonds, like gold or oil, or the Qs or the diamonds or the S&P 500. It is now an official asset class. Okay. So we need to trade it. You didn't miss it. There is no top and there is no bottom. There just is. And that's where we are. So we need to build positions into Bitcoin. And I would suggest that you have some buy and hold Bitcoin. And the good thing is now we can do some trading in Bitcoin too. And we're going to talk about how we've done that. Let me bring this back up and bring this chart back up. We'll listen to Saylor for just a second.
Question that I went most of my adult life without understanding, but economic energy is capital. Economic energy is wealth. And so if you think about the wealth in the world, there's maybe $900 trillion of it right now. And it's tied up in real estate and stocks and bonds and currencies, collectibles.
Did you hear what he said? Real estate, stocks, and bonds. And then you're going to get into precious metals. Then he's going to talk about collectibles. And then now Bitcoin becomes one of those type of asset classes like art or, like any other asset class out there. And so you want to find a way to fit it into your portfolio. So let's look at Bitcoin from a technical perspective. From a technical perspective, we have the RSI here around 76. It's pretty high. But what I want to bring you back to is over here. RSI was 76. And look what happened. We just kept climbing. Look at this. Just kept climbing. And so just because the RSI goes extreme doesn't mean this run is over. And let's back this up a little. Look what happened here. That was in November, man. It didn't even begin to pull back until way into the new year. Meaning in November, we had an RSI extreme reading. It didn't even have a decent correction until it climbed another $10,000. And then it just pulled back some. So the lesson is yeah, RSI means something. But when it comes to crypto, it really drives on the fact that the RSI can keep running. So for me, RSI, if you're trading, hey, that's a place to pull some off, man. And we'll get that. But I wanted to point this out that just because the RSI goes extreme doesn't mean the run is over. What's more important is learning how to use the moving averages. Where are we at? Right? Learning how to use the money flow trading system technical indicator list, how to use the 5-day exponential, the 10-day, the 20-day, the RSI. Remember, it's just measuring a 14-day velocity, support and resistance, and using the MACD and the TSI. And that's what we want to do here. So what are we seeing? Let's take these down. Let me take these down. Let me take this down. We covered the RSI, and then we're going to look at a few coins that we might want to get into here. Well, Bitcoin looks good. I would never add to a position when the RSI is this high. Never. I just let it run. I'm not looking to add anything, okay? What I would wait for is some sideways movement like we see here. See, we saw in here? Like we saw here. And look what happens. During this time, the RSI works off. And so if this bull run is to continue, that's what we should start to see. And then we know that previous high, can become, look at these, support and resistance. So, it would be nothing if it kind of went sideways, maybe drifted down to this 48 range before continuing higher. I mean, it doesn't even have to. So there's two ways that Bitcoin can work off this RSI. One, through time moving sideways. And we already said it could just drift higher. And number two, it could pull back. One thing you'll notice when a stock or a crypto coin gets on a run, all of these indicators become worthless because they start to diverge and then they just become worthless. And same with the moving averages. Once they start to go sideways, honestly, they don't do much anymore. We're looking for this spread. So notice right here. Hold on. Notice this. We still got price above the 5. There's the 10 and there's the 20. But we're starting to see this turning effect where price is starting to go sideways. Look over here. We didn't even see that, man. It just kept drifting, okay? Kept drifting. We're actually starting to see a little sideways action. And what do we see on the histogram? The histogram is saying, hey, look, the momentum to the upside has slowed. But watch what I just tell you. We can't just go off of that because look, you see how it did it there too, and what happened? Price kept going. So price can diverge from the indicators. These are just indications. At the end of the day, price is king. Price is king. At the end of the day, it's all about price. Price is the number one indicator. Price trumps the RSI. Price trumps the MACD, the moving averages. Price is the only indicator that actually pays you for whatever that is worth. All right, so let's clean this up. Let's get a new clean chart here. So, I mean, what I see on Bitcoin's pausing. I took profits in my 2x leveraged Bitcoin. We were up about 50 something percent in 2 weeks. BITX. I like to swing trade this. You can do this on the stock market. Do it right in your E-Trade, Charles Schwab, or whatever you use for a brokerage. And you know what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking to catch a stage 4 decline. Down, 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 down. And I'm looking for my anchor point. There's my anchor point. And then I'm looking for 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need one of them to close above what I call the trigger, which is price. Are we on this? Yeah, we're good. Which is price triggering the buy signal, which means that it moves above that 5-day exponential moving average. So I would start to buy right there. As price moves sideways, which is what I kind of expect, I'm waiting. And right there's my breakout. Chips are in. That's where I want the position to be, as big as I can get it, or that I'm going to want. Once we get to here and here, I'm not buying any of these. This is too late. It's running. Okay, so now as I hit this RSI first target, I'm looking to sell half. I want to pay myself. I'm up 50%. Take some of that money. Why? Because I'm going to allocate it to other swing trades. This is a swing trade, not a buy and hold. Okay. So we got to, you got to make your distinctions on what you're doing. I'm buying and holding my Bitcoin. I'm adding on stage ones. I'm swing trading these other products like this BITX. That's 2 times leverage. I get double the movement. Bitcoin's already pretty volatile. So I'll look over here and I'm going to look at some of the coins that we're trading. And let's see if we see any good setups or any laggards. And we'll click through them. And we know that Bitcoin's the wind, right? And let me pull up the Peters report again. I do a lot of the Bitcoin stuff in the back because I know not everyone's into it. And, you don't have to be. Synopsis of what's going on in the market. Let's take it to the back here. Let's go to my whiteboard. Oh, not the whiteboard. Hold on, back up. All right. In the back, you'll see Zcoin, ZEC. This was a swing trade that I just put on. Let me see here. All right. Started a position. Look, right here at 20 thing. Now, this didn't get above my trigger technically, but it held this bar. And with Bitcoin breaking out, I was taking a shot that this zone was going to hold, and then some of these laggard coins were gonna run. And that's just good old-fashioned market analysis and trying to understand the market that you're trading. Let's take this down some. Let me back this up. Do we have more? Funds. Keep going. All right, so here's my top holdings. We got Bitcoin, Matic, ETH, XRP, ADA, Bitcoin Cash. Now, these have changed. I have a lot more Bitcoin Cash now. A lot of you may know that's one of my favorite coins right now. Not for the reason you may think. Here's BTC. That was our target. Now, that target was on BITX and BITO, which is a dividend derivative of Bitcoin. Pays a nice little dividend yield. I don't know if you're in that one, but if you're not, another coin that we were playing was this Helium. That's done really well. You can see where I waited for this little pullback, got in. We've been riding it up. I missed this whole run here for Helium. Look at this, dude. 1.5 in November. That is an 8x. That's 800% move. My God. If you're not into crypto coins, I mean, let's see. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't. You can't be that fucking lazy that you just can't bother learning about them. I guess I only had a couple in there. So let's burn through some here. ADA, way past a buy zone. It's actually coming into a target zone. Algo, in my opinion, if we got some weakness, I might add, but it's past a buy zone. This was our buy zone. These are all pretty much the same. There was your buy zone. Now, this Atom coin has a 10% dividend yield. That's pretty nice. Avalanche. This is almost buyable here because the breakout is at 37.50 and it's only at 39.80. Any weakness in this, honestly, you probably could add. The RSI is only 57. So any of these coins where the RSI is under 60, and the reason I'm saying that, and I know that's not the same on stocks, is look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this run, okay? And the RSI just stays. Okay, so we know it can do that, right? Yeah. This is Bitcoin Cash. If I can get this down to about 50, man, I'm going to buy a bunch more. And look at this demand zone we have in here. You know, a demand zone is a zone where every time it hits it, look at this demand zone. And it's a huge one. You know, this in here is kind of a demand zone. Anytime price is in there, you know, we're seeing buyers. And then we kind of have this supply zone here where people are selling it. You see that? So we'll see if we can break through it and run higher. Okay, Bitcoin 51.57. We already said our 517. This is one of the newer coins that I've been adding a lot to. Curve or CRV coin. Again, it has moved way past the buy zone, but the RSI is still low. I would have no problems taking a shot. I like the money flow pattern in this one. Let's see. Dash. It's probably past a buy for me. Dogecoin, honestly, here is buyable. Let's pick this up. Doge has become an asset. Let's see. So we got Doge here. What was the other one that I said? I got CRV. I had XRP on here, but price is already taken off, so that comes off the list. Doge is buyable. R size 54. Look at this money flow pattern. Sideways, up, sideways, down, sideways. Now we're heading up. I mean, this is a good setup here. If Bitcoin holds, if it doesn't, it's going to come down. Dot, nothing there. Engine. You know, you might could add the engine here. Or yeah, ENJ. It's a coin I like. I don't have too big a position, but I like that one. That one is not could be added to. Any of these with the RSI is under 60. ETH, it's way past a buy zone. It's actually in a take profit zone. Filecoin, one I like. It's actually past it, way past it. Should have picked it up in this $5 range. Let me say something too here. Hold on. All right, let me say something. I use Coinbase. You can play, man, let's stop that thing. I thought I hit it. You can play these coins for so little money. It's shocking. I mean, you can buy $5, $10 and use these charts and learn the coins. So you don't need a lot of money to build out a coin portfolio. You just got to know you're not going to make your lick in one cycle. You might need 2 or 3 cycles to build the big bags, man. File. All right, here we are. Remember we were showing that HNT coin and it was over in the $7 range. Now we're in the $9 range. It got up to $11. That's already a huge move from down in the 7 range. What is that, 40, 50%? Let's see. Is it buyable here? No, but if the RSI came down to the 50s here like it did here, and I did buy some, Like it did here, I bought some, and like it did here, I bought some. So if it pulls back, I'm gonna be ready to click on it, man. Link. If price stays here and the RSI comes into the 50 range, oh shit, am I still on the? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get you back on. Let me back up here. So helium coin, I added some here, and I added some here. Why? Stage one and then a breakout. Stage one and a breakout. Stage one and breakout. I want to buy the stage ones. Had a nice move already. Link, if this RSI comes down the 50 range like it did over here, I'd be happy to add, okay? Look, over here it did it. Price shot up. It started pulling back, got down into the 50 range. That's what I'm talking about. See? It's in the 50 and price is sideways. I would buy some and then look, it runs. So very cool. These are just chart patterns, guys. Man is a little past a buy zone for me. Too far past. Matic, definitely too far past. Maker coin, this is one I've played. We've had some nice moves. If you're on my Instagram, man, I tried to give them this one. We first got in over here. It started to run, came back down. We loaded up, and we've run up. This was a nice swing trade that I put on there. You know, anybody that is on that could be playing along with that. You know, it'd be crazy not to. I still think you could buy sand here. RSI is 59. Price hasn't moved that far. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe let it come in, but I like sand here. Solana, man. Yeah. Man, we're already at 108. Isn't that crazy? This thing was $20 not too long ago. I actually think it's buyable here. RSI is only 56. If it holds this 20-day, I'd love to see it pull back, but look at this VET. I sold some of this V-Chain. Huge pop. I almost bought a nice size position. I almost put it in the newsletter as a swing trade, and then I didn't. And then see what happened. I trimmed some of this, and I pushed it to CRV coin. Let's keep going. XRP. Still under the 200. Is it buyable here? Maybe. You're pushing it. If I wasn't in it, I'd get in it. If I've got a nice bag, I don't know that I do much here, but it still is under the 200, and this thing could run. Notice over here, I said the same thing. The RSI is 57, man. You're getting kind of past the buy zone, but look at that run. So again, you got to be a little more forgiving with crypto. Oh, look at Z. Look at that Z cash. Let me take you back to the video. What did GP say in the Z cash? Come on, man. Why do people sleep on it? Why are you sleeping, man? Look at the Z cash. We were at $20. Put it in the newsletter, dropped it on Instagram. New speculative swing trade for $222.24. I don't know why I put 222. That's not even the goddamn date. That's in the future, Gerald. I don't know why I wrote 222 there. I think I meant right 212.24. And hold on. I guess I'm just going to click through everything. Bam. So we hit it. Let me see. Let's listen to Michael for a second.
The challenge is that capital is analog capital from the 20th century, and Bitcoin represents the digital transformation of capital. And your chart you just showed with those ETFs shows that every day in the last 5 days, $481 million is flowing out of the analog world into the digital world. And what's going to drive Bitcoin is, in essence, the conversion of analog capital to digital capital. The killer use case is capital preservation and capital appreciation. And, the name of the show is making money. That's what everybody wants to do. And money is capital.
In the same podcast, you talked about Rockefeller and I guess the baron, some of the so-called robber barons in general, who in modern times get a bad, it's a bad thing to be a robber baron.
All right, so on Zcash, we're up 21%. Since we established the position on the 12th, so 6-7 days. Not a bad little move, man. What did I have for the target? Wow. Oh, goddamn. Oh, I had the damn weekly chart in there, didn't I? What the hell was I? Man, I must have been drunk that night or something, man. Because I put up some weird shit, man. Huh. Anyway, we're up. I guess I was using a weekly chart. It had been much higher, I guess is the point there. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I don't know why that's going down. BITC. So these are getting into some other stuff. Bitcoin stock that we traded, CLSK is one of my favorite right out of the newsletter. If you're in the money flow gang, we were buying this thing in the $1, $2, $3, $4 range, and now it's $17. So, I don't know. If you're not in it, you just fucking went your own way and decided to, hey, I'm paying to be there, but I'm going to ignore them. I don't want to make 6, 7, 800%. I mean, it was a fucking $3 stock. So you could have bought just like 100 shares and you've turned it into $1,700. All you had to do was hold it and watch. And, we ran it up, took some off, it pulled back, it set back up. We put the trade back on. That's called trading around a position. This is classic money flow stuff, but you have to fucking follow it. You have to stay on it, man. So just stay with these stocks, man. Stay with these coins. Stay with Bitcoin, okay? And there's a bunch of other Maro and a bunch of other. I don't need all those. I like, I have a couple stocks that I trade. We have about 18 coins that I look at in Bitcoin. That's all I need, man. I really don't need any more. There's lots of bullshit, lots of things in the crypto space. There's lots of that, man. But you don't need all that.
Crypto getting an optimism boost as Bitcoin prices surge this week. Here with all the details is Yahoo Finance's very own Gerald Peters. Gerald.
That's right, Josh. I thought we'd do a quick update on the ETF and looking at all the flows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs and some of the converted ones. GBTC, that's Grayscale, that has actually experienced $6.9 billion worth of outflows this year, and that's counteracting a lot of inflows. In fact, without GBTC, there would have been inflows of $11 billion. You take that out, it's not even quite $5 billion. But after GBTC, we've seen the IBIT offering. That's iShares.
That was at the beginning when everybody thought Bitcoin would rip because it was approved. That's buy the rumor, sell the news. They got it. Buy the rumor, sell the news. They got to figure out some way to figure out how to explain why the fuck the market does what it does. Most of these guys don't know shit. They don't know what they're talking about. And most of these dudes I see on YouTube talking crypto, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they don't know shit about charts. Okay. They definitely don't know the money flow. They don't know the 4 stages of price movement. They don't know the 6 indicators. And they definitely aren't following and getting the returns that we do, following these stocks and following these things. And all I hear is a lot of baby. And they don't really know what the fuck they're doing. Okay. That's my 2 cents. Hey, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a small town country boy. If you from a trailer park in Arkansas. So let me know if I can help you in. Inside the money flow, we track Bitcoin every day. Okay. So when you take a day off, we are tracking that shit. Just so you know. And every week I put out the money. Me and my friends put out the money flow, the petersreport.com. We do a state of the market, what we're seeing, what's happening. We get in there, the stocks we're following. I usually have a training video of some sort up there about mindset, real estate, stocks, making money. I show you all the moves I'm doing. I put my homework, my whiteboards on there, which is, links to it. And it shows you what I anticipate. So I put on there what I expect to do this week. I'm not going into the week blind. I'm studying up and I have my moves. I have what coins I'm looking to buy so that I'm not jumping on some Reddit thing and buying some bullshit. Okay. I've already thought it through. I want to be ahead of the market. I want to, try to anticipate and be ahead of these sector rotations. So we track the big indexes. I track all that, without filters, with my own fucking eyes and charts. Okay. I hope that helps you, man. And I do. I hope you'll join us.
BlackRock, that has actually gained $5.2 billion. That's in the number one spot. Following that is Fidelity, $3.7 billion. And then you have ARK with about $1 billion, $1.2 billion.